Two stories happening right now. One being the repeat statistic: 56% of Americans can't afford a $1,000 emergency expense. We're living in a paycheck-to-paycheck nation, and businesses realizing this and using it to their advantage. Walmart CEO says customers willing to pay more for convenience. Retail sales are projected to grow between 2.5% and 3.5% in 2024. And the first line here says that shoppers value convenience so much they're willing to pay more for it. So this is actually pretty funny. It's pretty interesting. If you look at the big picture here, shoppers will value convenience and they're willing to pay more for it. Well, what does that mean? That means you're going to pay more on the price on the shelf. You're going to pay more in the quantity, as we are in a period of shrinkflation, where what you buy looks like what you used to buy, but you actually get less and you pay more for it. So you're going to pay more. Also, the travel, as these stores are closing, and the distance you have to travel to go to the store that you used to go to that was right down the street, that's no longer there. It's closed because of theft. And also, you're going to pay more in taxes. You're going to pay more in the overhead costs associated with security and police patrol and things like that. And the list goes on and on. But you're actually going to pay more physically, purposefully, monthly or annually, as membership rates are going through the roof. How many memberships do you have right now, into what? Odds are it's at least 5, maybe 10, maybe more, and you probably couldn't name them all without going through some sort of password vault history, or maybe looking at your bank or your credit card statements. Between Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, your gym memberships, YouTube, all these different memberships, it's a monthly fee. It's a trying to remember the term, it's a microtransaction. They want to call it a microtransaction, which these microtransactions, now they want to structure them on an annual basis, so you're less likely to remember, more likely to forget. And it's baked into the agreement that you can't cancel or cancel for a refund. You can only cancel, you'll never get a prorated refund. You can only cancel future transactions. So when they hit you today with a 30-day or 90-day free trial, so you forget, they charge you your credit card for the 12-month total, because it's a discount if you pay for 12 months instead of paying individually. Then you forget. Then 12 months from then they charge you again for the next year, and so on and so forth. It's never ending, folks. But now companies like Walmart have introduced Walmart Plus, that you now have to pay for to use the self-checkout. Now, granted, you don't have to pay for it to use self-checkout, but as the CEO of Walmart, Doug McMillon, is saying, consumers will pay more for convenience. Well, what is convenience? Convenience is the opposite of inconvenience, which means that you could create a convenience that people would pay for and associate value with this service, this fee that they're paying for, or you could create an inconvenience that people will pay to avoid. And so I don't think that there's a ton of value behind Walmart Plus that would make everybody want to run out and spend $12.95 a month or more to have this convenience. But if you eliminate cashiers and then you make the self-checkout process arduous and unenjoyable, if you treat everybody like criminals, it creates an inconvenience. Therefore, folks would pay for the convenience of not having to be put through that inconvenience. Now, I've mentioned this numerous times before in previous videos by myself, with Michelle, Squirrel Tribe, but it's actually pretty ironic how it's happening. And they're literally doing exactly what I told you they would do. And they would make it so that they would know who you are first and foremost, and have a way of tracking you and almost pre-authorizing you before you walk in the store. So how are they doing that? Well, they're going to continue to funnel people through self-checkout. There's two versions of self-checkout. There's the civilian self-checkout, and then there's the elite status Walmart Plus self-checkout, which is less of an inconvenience than the regular self-checkout. Now, the regular self-checkout is going to be heavily scrutinized and watched over like a hawk, and it's going to be almost seem like a violation of your privacy. You should feel some kind of way. You should feel dirty and slimy when you leave, when you enter and leave the self-checkout corral. That's going to have longer lines and malfunctions, and the attendant hitting the button on their app, on their tablet, so that they shut your machine down because they think you're stealing something. Because they want to push the consumer, as they said, consumers will pay for convenience. They want to push you to the Walmart Plus self-checkout. And that way, they'll know who you are. They'll know who you are exactly because you're a member. They have your information. They have your credit card. They have your address. They have your email address. They have your phone number. They may even have a picture of you, maybe even linked to your social media accounts. And this is what they want to do. This is what they want to do, but they're not going to come out and just say it. But guess what? I will. I have, and I will continue to tell you guys the truth. So, so long as I'm able. Who knows how long this will last. But, yeah, can we afford it? Absolutely not. So what do? They offer buy now, pay later options. This is again, 56% of Americans, you remember the headline, don't have $1,000 in savings to cover them in an emergency, yet they're going to tack on another microtransaction of a monthly service fee for convenience that they can't afford, but they'll offset that with a buy now, pay later program that is only going to come back and bite you guys in the butt. Those, not all of you, but those who are forced or trapped or backed into or tricked into using this. And much like the conversations we've had in the past, well, I suspect that probably 12 to 24 months from now, we'll be having another conversation as we witness and experience and see and read and hear about the headlines and the stories and the tales and the breaking news reports of the collapse of the buy now, BNPL, buy now, pay later program that is wiping out consumers and wiping out businesses and companies in the process. Walmart's not going to be affected, but Affirm is probably going to be a big name in the news, as well as PayPal and some of these other programs that offer this form of layaway, underwriting free, lower credit score, lenient credit terms in buy now, pay later. But it's not what you guys think. These companies are going to fail. They're going to be in the headlines. They may even get bailed out. But at the worst case, or best case, they go bankrupt and they start it all over again. And who's gonna be left holding the bag? Yeah, you guessed it, folks. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. So hang on, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay? See ya. Bye.